Right, it was going very well today. We spent like an hour trying to get the microphone to work.
Yeah, your tongue doesn't work.
I've got an ulcer on my tongue, so if at any point I sound like I'm trying to swallow a sock or I just yell out in pain, it's because I'm in incredible pain.
Not because you're trying to swallow a sock again.
Yeah. So now we're all well equipped to do a podcast.
I think it's probably time that we do.
We should do that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's roll.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to the Space Jam Continuum, the show where we try to make a coherent cinematic universe out of something that was never meant to be one. I've got an ulcer.
I'm Carl Noble.
we should probably kick straight in and watch some cartoons so I don't have to speak for
I
long.
think it's a good idea.
Let's do a real short episode. Try to keep it real concise.
Real short. So anyway, we're going to watch Porky's Pig's Feet.
Porky Pig's Feet.
Yeah, but it's feet. Yeah,
yeah.
It's not feet as in like trotters.
Malformed puffy dough trotters.
Yeah. And it's going to be Porky Pig, Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny cameo. That's going to be interesting.
All
so
right.
Let's dive into July 17th, 1943.
Let's have a look-see at Porky Pig's Feet.
Pig's Feet.
Okay, so are we presuming at this point that Porky III is no longer despot of Porkytopia?
No. See, I think that Porky in this one, because he was stuttering a lot, I think this is Porky IV. I think Daffy has been sent, or has come up with the idea himself, to go and get Porky IV, bring him back. They're going to ice Porky III, just get rid of him, and they're going to put Porky IV in his place. And then, they've got
Dismantle.
a dictator from the inside. Yeah, they're going
So they're going to leave him in charge?
Well, I think
just slowly dismantle?
I think they're going to bring it down, because I think Porky III's probably got enough fanatic followers that you can't just take him down, because somebody worse will come into his place.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if they can get somebody who they've already had imitating Porky as convincingly as Porky IV was,
Yeah.
then, bang him into place, and then hopefully they'll be able to, dismantle it slowly from the inside.
We can hope. I mean, so the rundown of the episode, then, it's Daffy and Porky.
Yep.
They're staying at a hotel.
Yes.
The bill comes. He
Yep.
says Daffy's going to be here in a minute with the money, but Daffy's plan to make the money was gamble, by the looks of things.
Well,
in a lift.
Yeah, he said he's going to cash a cheque. I think he cashed the cheque and then gambled the money away.
Right.
That's what I think. Daffy's got himself a gambling
Porky
problem.
thought he was going to?
Yes,
cash a cheque?
I think he genuinely went with government cheque to cash it, because I'm thinking like they're on their way back from Mexico and they're staying in a hotel and he's cashed a government cheque and he's now gambling the money. Daffy evidently has a gambling problem.
Yeah. And that's not his biggest problem.
It's not his biggest problem, no. But what I did find interesting was when he came out of the gambling lift.
Yeah, like you could see like his a silhouette of him rolling dice and stuff.
Yes, yeah, but then it was sliding doors and there was buttons on the outside like a lift. So I'm guessing it was a gambling lift, which is fine. I'm okay with that concept, a gambling lift. That's okay.
Yeah,
but he came out and he was being squashed. So, the turn of phrase, he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. I think that is a literal thing in the Tooniverse. If you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders, I think it is like a literal weight. Because he was coming out all squashied.
Oh, what now?
Squashied.
Squashied?
Is a word I'm saying.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean, though, don't you?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's cool.
I don't know.
I could say squashed if you want.
Give it a go.
He was all squashed.
There we go.
There we go. So, I'm thinking the weight of the world is a literal thing.
I don't know, I think Daffy just likes to ham it up.
He does like to ham it up. Not as much as Porky, though.
Well,
he likes to literally ham it up.
Yeah, but he doesn't have much choice in that.
No, that is true. But yeah, so he comes in and knows that he doesn't have the money. So he's like, right, how am I going to get out of this? He overhears the manager talking to Porky, and Daffy thinks, right, if I pretend he's insulted my integrity, I go in there all guns blazing, he's going to back down, we're just going to be able to leave. Now, he gets right up in this guy's face.
And we mean physically within
physically
his face.
into his
Daffy's
face.
head is within the man's face.
Yes, yeah. Like, it was intense, because it just got deeper and deeper and deeper.
It was not pleasant to watch.
No, it wasn't. But then, there was a whole, you challenge my integrity, you insult my whatever, and then, there's gloves slapping.
Yeah, and then
challenges to duels.
Then I think Porky begrudgingly allows this to continue.
Yes.
Like, Daffy shows him a horseshoe in the glove that he's going to slap the guy with. And Porky goes, here we go again.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But I mean, the thing is like Porky IV, we don't know what he's seen. We don't know what's gone on in Mexico. He could have seen some pretty intense stuff. And, if he's being allowed back into America, if he's being brought back into, we want you to be the Porky, then, maybe he's like, I'll just have to let this slide. If this is this government work, he knows what he's doing. He's obviously a consummate professional.
So what follows basically is like a chaotic chase through the hotel, the manager chasing them down, them trying to get out, which culminates in them like imprisoned in a high room in the hotel.
Yeah, which is quite odd, I think.
Yeah, taking justice into his own hands.
Yeah.
And they call Bugs.
They do.
Because they've seen him do this stuff.
Yeah, they know he can get out of pretty much anywhere. So ring him on the old telephone, and he's like, did you try this? Yeah. Did you try that? Yeah. Did you try this? Yeah. And then they open the door. Bugs is there with a ball and chain on. He's like, doesn't work, does it? And that's the end.
But it's interesting to see Bugs develop as this almost like consulting toon.
Yeah.
It's just like...
Well, that's it. I think they are aware of... They've seen his powers and kind of what he can do. And, he's almost like almost a superhero-esque figure to them.
Which is in line with what we've gone for.
Yeah. But it was interesting that he was in there with a ball and chain on. And, seemed to be making no attempt to escape. But there again, if you were Bugs and you didn't want to leave, you wouldn't, would you?
Yeah, I mean, I think...
Because Bugs could have got out of that.
Yeah, but he's quite, he's sort of eternal and, I don't think time's a big concern to him.
No.
So
being imprisoned for a year is probably
he's got it all under control.
But, did you notice that the shape of Bugs' face was old school Bugs, not newer Bugs?
I did not.
His face was slightly rounder. It wasn't... He didn't quite have the cheeks quite yet.
So do we think it's a younger Bugs?
I'm thinking possibly it's a younger Bugs.
Do we think they think it's a younger Bugs?
Well, I don't know whether or not they are aware of his time travel prowess.
True, but my point is, they seem quite impressed by him as an entity.
Yes, yeah.
And I think they've crossed paths with him at an early point in his timeline where he's not going to be able to deliver.
Yeah, on his future self.
On his potential.
Yes, yeah. I think that's probably what's happened. I think, this Bugs that we saw here is fully aware that he is, an eternal rabbit. But he is, he just doesn't have the ability to help them at this point. But, as you say, time doesn't matter to him. So he's like, I'll just wait this out.
Maybe he'll get out and then future Bugs will just come back and fix it.
Possibly.
Who knows?
We don't know. We may find out.
But currently, we're pretty sure that on June 17th, 1943, the three of them were locked up by a mad dog who runs a hotel.
But now we've got Scrap Happy Daffy, and this is just Daffy on his own, August 21st, 1943. So
it's a full month later.
Yeah, so we can presume he either contacted the embassy, got some more money wired, paid the bill off, which got bigger because of all the damage they did.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's probably how they got out. But I mean, this may shed some light on it. I doubt it, because it just sounds like Daffy having a fight.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens in Scrap Happy Daffy from August 21st, 1943.
Yeah, let's.
That hotel bill must have been a lot of money.
Yeah,
he's really working it off now.
Yeah, the community service he's having to do was pretty intense.
Yeah, they're pretty much gone, look, we've bailed you out, Daffy, but seriously, you were meant to go in, like, under the radar, get Porky IV, and, like, it was meant to be a covert operation.
Yeah. You said you had your gambling problem licked, and evidently you don't.
So, like, it's a propaganda-heavy episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's all about, for victory, but it's scrap heaps. So Daffy is in charge of a scrap heap.
Yeah, he's the salvage warden.
Yeah. So he's there singing a song about all the different things that they will collect, and then obviously melt down and turn into ammunition, tanks, whatever. Hitler gets wind of it and isn't happy, particularly about Daffy's giant scrap heap.
Which is visible from, like, the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite large. Or the ocean's quite small. I don't know which. But there again, like, it's a story. So that wasn't actually Hitler.
Yeah.
It was, it was just some actor. It wasn't actually the size of the scrap heap. They're bigging it all up. They're making it all a lot more than it should be. But they send in a torpedo from a U-boat to take out this...
A scrap heap destroyer.
Yes. And it turns out that inside this torpedo is a goat.
Yeah. It's a regular run-of-the-mill
standard
goat.
tin-munching goat. Starts eating up all the cans, starts working his way through the various different piles. And Daffy's not happy about it. He finds out, goes to try and take it out. It doesn't work. Hilarity ensues. And that's pretty much the vast majority of the episode until... Super American.
Yeah, so Daffy gets visited by his ancestors.
Yep.
Which, as far as I can tell, are a duck version of nearly every prominent American figure in history.
Yes.
Now, we know full well those aren't Daffy's ancestors.
No, because Daffy wasn't born sentient.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, they're there. It's like an Abraham Lincoln one.
Yeah.
And, like, some sort of pilgrim-type ones.
Yeah, there's all around. It was like
founding fathers.
Yeah, 7 or 8 of them in total. Just kind of giving them a pep talk, going, come on, Americans don't give up.
Americans don't give up. And he goes, that's right. And I'm an American. Duck. Don't know why I needed to add that.
But he is. That is true. He is an American duck.
Just shoots up into the sky.
Yeah.
Next time we see him, he's super American. And it's like, he's a V-shaped Adonis.
Yeah.
Like, and he's flying around. He's
punching bullets out the air.
Yeah. Fighting a submarine, physically.
Yeah, literally, yeah. But then it's like, the U-boat tries to sink. He grabs a periscope and he's wiggling it about. And then it, does the whole wibbly dream thing. And he's there wrestling a water pipe. And he goes, it was all just a dream. And then it pans up and on top of the scrap heap is a U-boat with the goat, the Nazis going, next time you have a dream, include us out.
Which, I don't think that's how words work, but...
I mean, I'm not really one to say, but I don't think that's how words work either.
Yeah.
I'm not a master wordsmith. So.
But then, English isn't their native language, they're Nazis.
That is true. That is true. But were they, or were they just Americans pretending to be Nazis? Because that's the thing, it was all just a piece, wasn't it? It wasn't genuinely...
It's all just a bit.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know.
We can't really take anything from that apart from...
but we're pretty sure that Daffy's basically had to do it as sort of penance.
Yes.
Like,
for
we need to...
whiffing it.
Yeah. So you whiffed it. You're getting put back on the propaganda films.
Yeah.
Also, could you do this advert for Alka-Seltzer?
Yeah. There was that weird advert for Alka-Seltzer there, wasn't there? That's a bit odd.
He had to do an ad to make the money, I guess.
Yeah. Because that's it. Like the propaganda piece wasn't going to make any money. That was the community service bit. The bit that kind of like covered the cost of the hotel that he trashed.
Was the little advert.
Was the little advert.
Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah. But I mean, he did it, so that's good. But next we've got it's a heavy hitting episode.
Yeah, but we saw in the previous episode, like, it was Porky and Daffy, and they've met Bugs now, at least once.
Yeah, on screen.
This next one has Elmer, Bugs, Daffy, and Porky.
Yeah.
And I think this might be when they're basically going for the reboot. It's like, got new Porky in. Let's just try and bring this all together. Get back to how it was.
Yeah, so it's kind of like when DC did the New 52.
Yeah.
Kind of like just, right, resetting the universe, let's go.
Well, I don't think they're fully resetting the universe. I just think they want to go, look, everyone's back together again. Yeah. Like, it's a fun time. There's no despot Porky.
No.
It's not getting very dark anymore.
No. I think that's...
But we'll see how it goes. It's called A Corny Concerto, and it's from September 18th, 1943. Shall we give it a looking at with our eyes?
I think we should. I think we should use our eyes and maybe ears.
I'll give it a go, yeah.
To hear it at.
Good thinking.
Thanks.
Okay, so not quite what we expected.
No.
I wouldn't say that was Daffy. I reckon it's
Daffy
Jr.
Yeah, I think it is.
The kid he took to see Porky.
Yes, yeah, I think it is. Like, and you know, I'm happy for them to bill it as Daffy Duck because he is Daffy Duck. He's just Daffy Duck Jr.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the first part of that ballet, I don't know what it is, that Porky, Bugs and the dog were up to. But basically that it opens at Corny Gee Hall.
Yeah.
And it's it's a night with Elmer Fudd being the conductor.
Yeah.
In ill-fitting clothing.
Very ill-fitting.
And a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
Like, he's just turned up after a night on the sauce. That's what I think's happened.
Was it billed as Elmer Fudd?
I don't think so.
Like, was it meant to be Elmer?
Well, maybe not. And he's the one who's just turned up. He's like, I'm ready, let's go. like someone called in sick and he was the only one that could get at short notice because he's always available. He's really, really needing some work.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's not... Well, I mean, it is ill-fitting clothing. But he was fat at one point. So I'm thinking that that's his tux. That's the one he has.
Yeah.
And he hasn't bought another one
he was Fat Elmer.
Yeah. And he's like, I've got a tux, it'll be fine. I'll do it. And he's come in, putting it on, and he's went, I'm not fat anymore. And yeah, it's much smaller than it needs to be.
But yeah, so he introduces the first one, which is Tales from the Wood, I think.
Yes.
And like, it's sort of like a ballet of a pretty standard Bugs or Daffy cartoon, like an early one with Elmer hunting them. Except Elmer's not hunting them. Porky, dressed as Elmer, is the hunter.
Yeah, and he's got a pointer with him.
Yeah, and he's hunting Bugs.
Yeah.
And they, in the general rigmarole, the choice is that they annoy a little chipmunk or something.
Yeah.
And he comes out of the tree with a gun and shoots all of them. And they all do the usual, woe is me sort of thing.
I've been wounded.
Yeah. And then it transpires Porky hasn't been wounded and he's like, yeah. And the dog hasn't been wounded and he's like, yeah. Then Bugs falls dead and goes all flat.
Yeah, literally just deflates, which was except his feet.
And they get out the first aid kit to do something, and he's got his hands on his chest where the wound would be, and Porky moves him out of the way to reveal a brassiere, which he definitely wasn't wearing before. And then he leaps up, he slaps Porky.
He's got a tutu on and ballet shoes.
Yeah, and then he just pirouettes off.
Yeah, I think he throws he throws his brassiere at them, and then flashes his undergarments.
Yeah,
and then
and that's the end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, it was brilliant. It was just hilarious all the way through because there was no talking. The only person who talked was Elmer about the whole thing, and it was obviously just a show, and it was just like, oh look.
So it's the first time we've seen Bugs and Porky like they're a team.
Yeah, but so we're guessing Porky IV.
Mm-hmm.
A modern day Bugs.
Yeah.
Thin Elmer with a 5 o'clock shadow. I don't know.
I don't know where he's factoring into proceedings yet.
No. And then you've got... I'm thinking Daffy Jr. was brought in. One, because he fit the part better. But 2, because I think Daffy's still got some community service to do and he couldn't quite make it.
Yeah, I think it was meant to be Daffy.
Yeah, but they've went, he's unavailable.
The kid. It showed us what the kid could do. It's pretty good.
He's got a bit, yeah. So they've sent him along. So no, I think all in all, really good episode. It was a good way of reintroducing Porky.
Yeah.
Or Porky IV, reintroducing him back into the crowd in a classic role of the hunter. You know, because that's what he was doing, or at least what Porky III was doing when we first met him. So yeah, no, that was. I think that was.
They're just trying to, like, emotions have been running pretty high.
Yeah.
In the Tooniverse, politically, it's been a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
And I think this is them just trying to go, look, it's all going to be okay.
Yeah.
We're back.
So yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll see the end of that bit, but yeah, be good.
Shall we meet a new friend?
I think we should. Have we not seen him before?
I don't think so.
No. How's your tongue doing?
It's big. It's a big tongue.
It's a big tongue. Okay, let's watch this. See if we can deflate your tongue a little bit.
I feel like I sound like I'm trying to swallow an egg.
I can go get you an egg if you want to give it a go.
At least then I have the excuse to say I was trying to swallow an egg.
Let's. Oh well. What's more whiskey?
Let's meet Claude.
Let's meet Claude.
I think he's going to be another cat.
Yeah. I'm sure we've met Claude.
Oh, was Claude? Who was the cat in the last one?
I don't know.
The one with the mice.
That
was Claude. Okay, we have got Claude.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm sure we've met Claude because the thing is that like in that box it doesn't say first appearance of Claude.
That's true.
So we must have met him before.
Well, let's go and see. Let's go and check in.
Yeah.
It's called
Finnin
Catty.
Finnin Catty.
FIN''N.
Yeah, classic.
Catty.
Yeah.
From October 23rd, 1943. Let's see what Claude's about.
Let's see what he's up to. Well,
he's been doing his reading.
He has been doing his reading. So
Claude has read up and he's discovered that cats also eat fish.
Yeah, fish with hats.
Do you think the book was that specific?
Well, I don't know. Because the fish isn't a named character.
No.
But he's sentient.
Yeah. He's called G Fish.
Yeah. And he's got a hat. A bowler hat at that. And it's really good. I quite liked it. It stays on when it swims.
He had a lot of stuff in that little house. And I was wondering, he's a goldfish.
Yeah.
He lives in that bowl.
Yeah.
Where's he getting the stuff?
Mail order?
Do you think they mail order something and they'll put it in the next utensil that your owner buys for your bowl?
Well, the thing is he owned or is he just, renting the fish bowl?
It's true.
And, Claude hasn't quite got the idea that tenants aren't food.
Okay, yeah. Is it the same house with the...
I don't think it is. I don't think it's his big posh house because I think when the lady of the manor came home, she probably got annoyed at the cat for chasing off.
Yeah, I can see
the help. Because as much as she liked the cat,
so it's more of a similar sort of situation to that early Sniffles episode where we decided that they were renting.
Yeah, subletting
space.
Because why not?
Yeah.
What else are you doing with it?
So you reckon you just rent a bowl in someone's house?
I think so because you don't need a whole house, do you? And, you don't just want a bowl on the street.
But do you think the stuff that he has in his little house is standardised, or do you think he's...
I think he's had to get kind of specific fish-sized things.
Because I think the mail order thing, it couldn't be run by fish.
No, what does it have to be?
So it's there's quite a specific and niche interspecies market there.
Yeah, but I mean, a settee that's good for a fish is good for a mouse.
That's true.
Just has to be waterproofed.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, it's
Same
just
deal.
You buy small settee.
So it's probably mice running the thing.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, there's nothing stopping, dogs running the factory. It's just a factory line and, you've got multiple people that are producing You know, IKEA produce different sized bookshelves. It's not short people who make the short ones and tall people who make the tall ones.
No, but like they don't produce ones that are like 1.5 inches tall.
Humans make dollhouse stuff.
It's true.
You know, like you can go to a hobby shop and buy a small chest of drawers. It wasn't made by a small person.
It's true.
It's made by an ordinary sized person. So I'm just saying that I don't think it's as niche as it would seem at first glance, because
there's other animals.
Yeah, there's a whole
interacting with the main portion.
Yeah,
of society
there's a whole
also need that
plethora
size,
of creatures out there of varying sizes.
That's a fair point.
So I'm thinking I think it just, you know, there's not like fish specific Amazon. I think there's, you know, he's got.
Is that the catchy name it would have?
Yeah.
Specific Amazon. Yeah. Specific is not a word I wanted to be saying a lot of times.
No, that's fine.
It's like
sound like Sylvester. Fuck that. So yeah, like the episode, it's a classic. It's just a chase episode.
It was done in a documentary style.
Yeah, Claude is trying to.
Goldfish need water.
Yeah.
Cats need goldfish.
Yeah.
Goldfish love water and cats hate water.
Yeah.
So there's a definite physical barrier there.
Yeah.
That's the main
and
crux.
There's a chase scene. You know, the fish inevitably ends up out of the fishbowl.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a chase scene, and the fish seems to do perfectly fine on land for a while. A good chunk of the cartoon he is out and about.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's desperately trying to find water. Claude is toying with them quite horribly. He's using sun lamps on them.
Yeah,
you know,
crisping him up.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. But then eventually, the fish manages to make its way to the shower. It shuts the door, turns the shower, and the shower fills up
almost
literally,
immediately.
Yeah, like the actual shower cubicle fills up. So even though he opened the door outwards, the weight of the water wasn't enough to open the door outwards. But, you know, that's fine. Apparently.
Now, the shower door had a lock and key.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to get to that, because that is odd.
I can't think, really,
why you'd ever want to lock yourself in
why you'd
or
ever
out of
have
the shower.
that. And my worry is that something untoward goes on in that house.
Either that, or maybe they put a lock on the shower to stop this exact situation, because they knew that fish just wanted a larger bowl, and they were like, no, you can't use the shower. Like, you've got your own tiny house. Like, you use your facilities, you can't use ours. You know, so like when you have like a shared house situation, and, you know, some people will lock their drawers, or they will lock their fridge so that nobody else can use it, and, you know, that sort of just petty crap.
Those sorts of people.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the fish lives in one of those households, so they're like, no, you can't use our shower. So you think that's our shower.
So you think the vibe is very much like a house share?
I'm thinking it's a house
share. Not like
share.
a lodger sort of situation.
I'm thinking in this situation, I'm thinking there's definitely situations where there is lodgers, but I think in this situation it seems to be a house.
Passive-aggressive notes on various Tupperwares.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So that's why I think there's a lock.
Writing their name on the milk.
Because I can't think of drawing lines where...
Yeah.
And signing it. Saying that you just haven't drawn the line. But yeah, I can't think why you would need to put a lock on a shower unless you were trying to stop somebody from using it or try to stop somebody from getting out of it. But if you manage to convince somebody to get into a shower, then, you know, the dog shouldn't need too much convincing to stay in the shower.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But in the end, anyway, it transpires that the reason Claude hates water is not because he can't breathe.
Yeah.
It's because he can't swim.
Yeah, and then he learned instantly how to swim. Because he ends up in the shower. He opens the door, the water doesn't fall out immediately.
He doesn't notice he's in water.
It shuts.
He locks the door.
Yeah, swallows the key. Yeah, and then it's just like, you know, he doesn't notice the fish is swimming in mid-air. He doesn't seem to find this odd at all. Until he realises that he's in water. And the reason, or the way he works that out is he sees a couple of bubbles go up, and they go up, and he goes, uh-oh, water. Tries to get out. Can't, because he swallowed the key and locked it firmly.
Yeah.
And then immediately learns to swim.
Yeah.
And just isn't bothered.
And then next we see him, he's living in a bowl.
Yeah.
And fish.
It's in a glass.
He's in a glass. That's all he can get.
Yeah, and it didn't even have any water in it by the looks of it.
I presumed it was a glass of water.
Well, I'd have presumed it was a glass of water, but I didn't see a water line. I did see a water line in the bowl, however.
Anyway, that was the gist. Didn't explain much, but, you know.
Not really, apart from cats can breathe underwater.
Yeah, cats can breathe underwater.
And subletting is a thing, and house sharing's a thing, and tiny furniture.
Tiny furniture.
Also, I think that's the biggest. Yeah, I think that's the biggest revelation we've had. Just tiny furniture.
Is that fish wouldn't have to provide that for other fish.
No,
they just, them mice and everything that small, just fine.
Yeah, bookworms.
See,
well, we haven't seen him with any stuff.
I've been thinking about bookworm.
Yeah,
he's pretty big.
He's about the same sort of size as Sniffles.
That's pretty big for a worm.
Yeah, Have you seen a slower worm before? I mean, they're essentially just they're just shit snakes.
Yeah,
they're not actually worms, but
the size of bookworm in this, it would make him sort of witchy grub chunkiness.
Yeah,
just stuff on his hind legs with a nice little face and gloves. It's weird.
So I
think bookworm would be repulsive, is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I think you're probably right, but we're not here to cast aspersions on what would be repulsive and not repulsive in the...
You did that when there was that worm woman.
I did, but she was fucking horrible. She was a giant earthworm. Oh. She looked way worse. Bookworm looks cute and lovable.
That's true, but I reckon if he crossed through the portal and was on our side...
No, because it would just look like Bookworm. Because like Porky didn't... Porky didn't change when he came across. He was just a toon. So Bookworm would just look like Bookworm.
Well, that's... Okay, well, I hope that never happens in our world. And I hope that level is...
Yeah.
Because that'd be horrible.
Yeah, and so would the Earthworm lady.
Well, yeah.
Mind you, I have seen people who look like that. Anyway, shall we move on?
Well, okay, so I want to get through a couple more in this episode.
Okay.
Because we're making pretty good time.
Yeah.
And there's a specific one that I would like to...
Finish on.
Yeah,
no, that's fair.
But first up, let's take a quick look in the Porky Piggy Bank.
Okay, we'll give it a rattle, see if it does anything.
And actually, it's less... The Porky Piggy Bank now is less of a strange political statement to have knocking around the house. Because it's no longer necessarily...
Yeah.
Ceramic likeness of a hideous dictator.
So I can take the flag down then?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Good thinking.
I think so.
Okay, let's go and have a look in the Porky Piggy Bank.
Let's give it a look, shall we?
So we make Space Jam Continuum for free.
All the time.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Without relent.
Repeatedly.
Yeah. It's frankly must be getting pretty irritating for people.
Or maybe just really enjoyable.
With your interest at heart in that regard, why not try giving us some money?
Yeah, just give us some cash. See if it makes it better.
So it's going to stay free, but there's some extra bits we'd like to do. We'd like to do some live screenings pretty soon.
Yeah.
On our end of the year episode.
Yeah.
We should be deep into 1947 with tunes. So we want to do a live screening of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is set in 1947.
Bang in that time, doesn't it?
Do a little live show.
That'd be good.
But doing things like that costs a little bit of moolah.
Yeah, a little bit of cash,
So Rob over at Kaiju has set up a Patreon page where you can go and support the shows that are on Kaiju. There's us, there's The Prestige, there's Lawmasters, there's some live play, role-play episodes coming up at some point in the future. And over there you can just pledge a little bit of money.
Just a little bit. It all helps out.
As little as $1 a month.
25 pence an episode for what you get. Just for us.
Just for us. Just even less if you're really,
Just listen to it all. Listen to it all. God, I can't even imagine how cheap that gets.
But it really helps out, and it's just a tiny bit. Might not seem like much, but it will help us out. Otherwise, You can help us by helping us increase the visibility of the podcast.
Yeah, likes on, or rating us on things like iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you happen to listen to
and
it.
Giving us a review on iTunes,
really
especially, really helps out.
Get t-shirts printed, wear them.
Yeah, run around pointing at yourself, wearing it.
Yeah, just go, look at me!
Get involved on the Twitter. Or email us, get involved in the discussion.
Yeah, email.
So it's the TSJ community, is the Twitter, or the Space Jam Continuum at gmail.com.
Nice and easy.
Get involved. Easy stuff.
Find us on Facebook. We've got a Facebook group as well.
Facebook group, again,
Space Jam Continuum.
And
you'll see our logo there.
Start
typing
chiming
things
in with bollocks.
Yeah.
Complete bollocks. It's fine. We're talking bollocks.
Keyboard bollocks.
Absolutely.
Don't
know about that. Strike that last one.
Okay, yeah. Don't do keyboard bollocks.
And aside from that, just tell people.
Yeah.
If you like it, you probably know other people who would like it.
I'd imagine
Tell them about it.
Yeah.
Unless you've surrounded yourself with people who don't like things that you like. Which would be a
silly.
weird thing to do, but you might have done it.
And then just get right up in their face like Daffy does.
Yeah.
Right into their face.
What would Daffy do?
Get in their face.
Get in their face. It's quite enough of that. Let's watch some cartoons.
Let's do that.
Okay. It's our boy Bugs. We don't know which Bugs it's going to be. We don't know when it's going to be.
And he's joined by
the Gremlin.
like
The Gremlin.
Yeah, I mean, is this going to be like a gremlin, as in like a gremlin from the Gremlins? Or...
What's annoying me on our list here is he's listed like a character we should recognise, but it's not a link, so we can't find out who
I
it
think
is.
I've got an idea who he is, to be honest.
Shall we have a look?
I think if we have a look and
let's do that.
yeah, it's not how I thought it was.
It's not who you thought.
No.
It's this little yellow guy with like a blue sort
head.
of wrestling mask.
Yeah,
sort
he's
of
like
thing. Red gloves, and his tail looks like the back of a submarine.
You know when you said wrestling mask? Do you reckon he's come along with Porky from Mexico?
Oh, that'd be good.
Do you reckon that's what's happened?
I hope so. I hope so.
He's hitched a ride.
He's just like, I've got to go back to America. I've got some unfinished business.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I've not got a lot on.
Yeah, I'll come with.
Both physically
Yeah.
and in my schedule. I'll come with you.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's watch it and we'll find out.
Let's go and watch Bugs Bunny and the Gremlin in Falling Hair from October 30th, 1943.
Let's give it a go.
So it's a young Bugs. He's sceptical.
Yes, he hasn't met a gremlin before.
But I presume he hasn't seen much weird stuff at this point.
No.
Because he sees the gremlins in the book and he's very sceptical about their existence.
Yeah, I mean that's understandable because they're seen as just a made up thing from servicemen talking about there's gremlins in the machines and that's why things go wrong. I mean everyone's kind of heard of. I say everyone. Yeah. Most people have heard of the idea of gremlins in the machine.
Yeah, normally on the wing doing stuff.
Yeah, and lo and behold, this thing turns up. Doesn't look like the gremlins from the pictures that he's looking at. So I'm thinking whether or not the gremlin character actually is a gremlin at all.
I think he is a gremlin, but I think he's I get the impression he might be outcast from the gremlin society. Because in the book, it's like the whole plane covered in gremlins.
Yeah.
This guy's on his own, he's dressed weirdly.
He is just very, very odd. He has got a plain tail for a tail.
I just reckon amongst the other gremlins, maybe they think he's a bit of a weirdo. I don't like this guy.
I mean, it's understandable because he is very, very odd and just proceeds to torment Bugs throughout the whole episode.
Yeah, it's really a turnaround for Bugs for most of the episode.
Yeah.
Bugs' general demeanour at this point, I think at this point in his arc, he's a bit more like Dirk Gently than Doctor Who. Stuff's just happening to him.
Yes. Yeah.
And
he's very accepting of
not
it.
great at dealing with it.
Yeah.
But it all sort of works out in the end.
Yeah. He does seem to always kind of come out on top. So, he's got a natural look. But, I mean, he does have 2 rabbit's feet.
That's true.
So he's...
Lucky guy.
He's twice as lucky as,
But half as lucky as a regular rabbit.
That is true.
Because he's chosen to walk upright.
Yeah, and wear gloves.
Yeah, very much defining those as hands.
Yeah, because you don't put gloves on your feet.
But anyway, the gremlin's tormenting bugs. He manages to lock bugs in the plane, get the plane going and off the ground.
Yeah.
And then he basically repeatedly chucks bugs out of the plane.
Yeah. And bugs keeps getting back in.
Manages to get back in every time.
Yeah.
The gremlin tries to fly the plane into a building.
Yeah, Bugs isn't having that.
Bugs just gets control just in time. Flies between 2 buildings. But then the gremlin does what the gremlin does best. Starts dismantling the plane.
Yeah. Makes it a lot harder to fly.
The plane, wingless, takes a nosedive. We think he's done for, but it stops about 3 foot off the ground.
Yes.
So ran out of gas.
Yeah, which is odd. So, it requires not gravity to make a plane descend. It is just a engine-related thing.
I think, there's a triumvirate of things that can make something fall in the Tooniverse.
Yeah.
And you need 2 of the 3 to fall.
Yes.
So, gravity is one of them.
Okay.
Fuel is another one.
Yeah.
And knowledge that you should be falling.
Yeah.
So the plane is never going to have the knowledge it should be falling.
Because in this one,
so
it's
if it runs out of gas, it just stops.
Yeah.
Whereas if they were outside of the plane, they would fall as soon as they look down and notice that they're meant to be falling.
Yeah.
So there's a three things.
Kind of like the fire triangle.
Yeah, except you need
there's
all
the falling triangle.
Yeah, but you need all the things in the fire triangle.
Whereas in
You
this
only
one,
need
you
2
only
of
need
them.
2 of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's some Toon science for you.
Toon science. Laying it down thick and fast.
Yeah. That's another supplementary show. It's Toon science. Toon lab, everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I think that works.
No, I'm fine with that. I'm happy to roll that because it makes that make sense.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's what this is all
a lot
about.
of other stuff.
Yeah, it does.
Until I see something that disproves it, that's what we're rolling with.
Yeah, roll with that. Cool.
Data
Yeah, the gravity
has
triangle.
led me to a conclusion.
The falling triangle. Yeah, that's better. The falling triangle.
The falling triangle.
Falling triangle.
So that's what I learned from Bugs Bunny and the Gremlin. Anything you've learned?
Gremlin's pretty cool.
You like the Gremlin?
No, he's entertaining.
He was less good than I thought he was going to be.
I can see him and Bugs getting on well. I think once they've...
And they seem to, at the end, to just go, well, that's put an end to these proceedings. No hard feelings, eh?
Yeah.
Because they seemed all right with each
Well,
other.
that's it. Because I think Bugs recognises a bit of himself in the Gremlin's just like, little scab. So
I mean, he was even helping him along.
He was, yeah.
Until he just caught himself just before he whacked the bomb.
Yeah, and blew it up. Because it would have happened.
Oh, absolutely. Bugs has got quite a swing on him.
He's got a good arm. He's got a good arm as the old Bugs.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll see the Gremlin again, but, it was good to meet him.
Yeah.
See what it's about. We've learned some Toon physics.
It doesn't say the first appearance of the Gremlin either, so...
But that suggests to me he's not just the one time.
Yeah, that's what I think. Oh, well.
Oh, well, we've got another new character coming up, and this is why I wanted to get here.
Yeah.
Because the next one up is Daffy the Commando, starring Daffy Duck, and everyone's favourite member of the Looney Tunes pantheon,
Yeah.
Adolf Hitler.
In colour.
In colour. And this isn't a recoloured one, this is in colour.
This is in
Straight
colour.
up.
Because the thing is I don't think I've ever seen any documentary or anything like that with Adolf Hitler in colour. Without it being coloured afterwards.
Yeah.
It's always been shot in black and white and then it's been coloured afterwards. So this is the first time...
The first ever colour appearance
of
Hitler.
Adolf Hitler. It was in November 20th, 1943 in Daffy the Commando. Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it? And Daffy Duck didn't appear in his previous build position, presumably because he's got a mission.
Because, yeah, he's off to see Adolf.
Well, let's us get off to see Adolf.
Let's go
And
see
Daffy.
Adolf and Daffy.
Daffy the Commando from November 20th, 1943. So, Daffy and Hitler then.
Yeah, I mean Hitler wasn't in it much.
No, he's just in it at the end.
Yeah, it was like a little Hitler cameo. But
It was mostly Schultz and whoever the eagle who was the commandant.
yeah, with a tiny eye.
Yeah, he had one tiny eye.
One tiny
They looked
eye.
normal, but one turned out to be a monocle,
Yeah,
and it's actually really small.
really, really small eye.
Yeah.
Eagle-eyed.
But
He was.
this is the first evidence we've seen that there is a war in the Tooniverse.
Yeah.
Like previously, we've seen like propaganda targeted at our side of the portal.
Yeah.
But it's the first time we've seen like Nazi troops and Nazis in the Tooniverse outside of Daffy's dream.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm thinking it's a relatively new thing. I don't think that war there has been going on as long as the war on our side has. What I think's happened is because the Nazis in our world they did a lot of like kind of investigating into the occult and stuff like that. I'm thinking they stumbled across some portal technology.
Some sort of Stargate.
Yeah, which allowed them to kind of get into the Tooniverse and thought, we can also use this for propaganda.
Well, the thing is, if they could come out the portal in the States,
Yeah,
it could be devastating.
it could be. So I'm thinking what's happened is they've kind of gone over there and they've ended up in the Tooniverse's version of Germany. And, they've found a foothold there and they're able to start, do a bit of rabble-rousing and stuff like that. So I'm not sure whether or not the Hitler that we saw at the end there was actually just Hitler doing a speech.
Yeah.
Because he was cartoonised, but he wasn't like the human toons.
It was more like that freaky Uncle Sam one.
Yeah, he looked like a very human. So I don't know whether or not he's maybe just dotted over, because I think toons, when they come out, they remain tooned.
But we've seen various people. I think we've seen people go in and become sort of toons.
Yeah, so I think that's what's happened. I think it's. I think he's kind of went in to do, a bit of a speech to the German troops in the Tooniverse, and that's where Daffy's interacting with them. But yeah, I suppose other than the fact there's a war going on now, we didn't really learn very much.
See, I'm wondering if you go in. I think if a human goes in, they still look human to people in the Tooniverse, but because we're viewing it through a portal as well,
Yeah.
it can't go through two stages.
No.
And that's when we get that weird in between. It's like, it looks like a person, but
The colour...
like rotoscopes.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It doesn't quite... contrast doesn't quite work. But yeah, it was an interesting episode. Daffy's been sent over there to... cause a bit of
as we
mischief.
expected, he's got a mission.
Yeah.
That's why he wasn't in the Corny Concerto.
Yeah. He's the only one Daffy enough to do it as well. So, he flies over there, parachutes in, causes some issues, tries to plant a few bombs. He ends up getting fired out of a cannon, because he tries to hide in the cannon.
Yeah.
And ends up in
The
Berlin,
Valley.
I guess.
Yeah, in Berlin.
And, lands on the podium where Hitler's doing a chat.
Yeah.
And, hits him on the head with a hammer.
Yeah.
And I can only assume then legs it.
That's his normal MO.
Yeah. Yeah, he just does one.
Cackle a bit.
Yeah.
Leg it.
And off he goes.
But yeah, it didn't... I don't think it's going to have a great effect. I don't think it's the best planned mission in the world.
But I don't think he was expecting to
Be fired out of a cannon
fight
into
at Hitler.
Yeah.
Like, I think he seemed to achieve his mission of, causing mayhem.
Yeah, but at this point, like, it's still a year and some before the war ends.
Yeah.
And like, he had a chance. He was there. Hitler was there.
He was,
And
but...
he just whacked him once with a hammer.
He did, but the thing is like, how much damage can he actually do to Hitler?
I wonder how much... because obviously toons are pretty hardy.
Yeah.
A human in the Tooniverse, do they get some of that hardiness?
Well, have you ever been hit in the head with a hammer made of, like, drawing.
Drawing. No.
Like, I can't imagine it hurts that much. So, yeah, that's it. I don't know. I don't know whether or not, because...
So I was imagining it hurt a lot, but did no actual damage.
Yeah, but I mean, you end up with, like, a lump or black eyes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
only for a couple of minutes.
Yeah. So I don't think Adolf's really in that much danger there.
So you think Daffy, like, he weighed up his options...
And just went,
I'll hit him once with a hammer, because that's a good story. That's a good thing to be able to say you've done.
Or maybe he was just unsure of what damage he could do. Like, maybe he just
gave it a
genuinely...
go.
He was just like, oh, well, that didn't really work. Let's run away and rethink this.
Yeah. Well,
so
I wonder if they'll have another run-in at any point.
Well, they very well might do. Because I'm sure Hitler's probably not being deterred from that. So he's probably going to keep trying to...
Can't imagine at this point Hitler's not showing up again in the Tooniverse.
Yeah, well, I imagine he probably will do, because, if they've got the technology to kind of jump in and out, I mean, it might be very limited.
Yeah.
Because if they've just cobbled something together, it might be very power-heavy.
So I think it's more like they've found something.
Yeah, possibly. But
in a Stargate or sort of start of Hellboy sort of a way.
Yes, yeah. Well, I'm sure
we'll have to wait and see.
I'm sure those questions may be answered.
I mean, that's about all we've got time for this week. We're back on track for our 2-year goal now.
Yes, we are.
Because after setting that goal, we fell behind by an episode immediately. So
these things happen, man.
But we've caught up again.
We're
back in action. So yeah, come and have a chat with us on the Twitter at TSJ Community, or email us at spacejamcontinuum@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook. Come and have a chinwag.
We're everywhere.
Yeah, we're everywhere.
Pretty much everywhere. I mean, limited. We're limited to where we are now.
We're some places, but those are the places we are. Come and have a chat.
Yeah, come and find us. Have a chat.
And until next week.
Bye.